Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the third and final map this evening of the ESEA Mountain Dew League coverage. It is myself and Hugo Byron back with you yet again, and we have Team Fragsters versus Stifmeister Gaming. Now, obviously, Fragsters finishing last season in first place prior to playoffs, and then Stifmeister having a recent upset versus Gambit Esports. So, definitely two noteworthy teams, but we'll see if Stifmeisters have the upset in them yet again as they barrel up towards the B site. That was a ridiculous headshot. Oh my goodness, Hugo. Just jumping headshots, no problem. No sweat.
Easy peasy, but still it's a 4v4, and with one player low on the CT side, there's an opportunity for Stifmeister, especially with Bubsky getting aggressive towards B. We saw him play very strong on this map just yesterday, but this time he's already dead, and so is Stallman. Stiffer finds him as well, as now this T side are in full control, 4v2, and damage done towards the remaining CTs. They're going to look to reconvene and hit this B bomb site, and with that pick, they certainly will. No one left, only Doctis left to rotate back into the empty bomb site, and Stifmeister surely have the pistol.
So what's up with the Stifmeister roster, Hugo? I see the UK flag up there flying proudly, and
God save the Queen.
Yeah, I mean, assuming it's not like the Fragster situation where it's a bunch of Danes for a Swedish manager. What's the deal with these guys? Who can you tell me about? Who are you going to hype?
So they're the second place guys out of Maine. Came against Namiga and lost in the best of 3. They also beat them last week in MDL as well in the best of 1. I'd say the big hitters on this team, from my standpoint, are Dancy's, the Orpa, and Astro is also a very good player. Although I'd say across the board, these guys are definitely some good players. Some of them lack experience, but in terms of, top tier in the UK, yeah, for sure, right? They're maybe lacking experience, in terms of playing on international LAN, but, local LAN, online leagues, Prem, that's where these guys have been. So stuck together for a while now, I would say, and looking to make a bit of a performance in this season of MDL. Endpoint had their struggles; they weren't able to get too much, only 2 wins. In their season when they played. In fact, I think it may have been 1 win for the first season, 2 for the second. But already Stifmeister are above that. I think they're sitting 2-2 right now. So yeah, already looking better than Endpoint, and I've got high hopes for this roster, at least staying in MDL this season. Maybe a bit far-fetched to say playoffs, but I don't think they'll get relegated, to be honest. I think they're good enough.
Thank you for your valuable insight, Hugo Byron. Right now, the Stifmeister Gaming side has occupied the top of middle, uncontested for the most part. Fragster's just waiting on the other side of truck lane. Now, Refresh's position's great if they walk around close to him, but coming over towards library might put him in a bit of a pickle. Luckily for him, Bubsky and Doctiz both shut down a frag apiece. Now the T's continue to split right into Refresh. He's good for just 1 so far, but it is, of course, Astro who is left over, and he's gotten himself the bomb, but he doesn't have much time, so he's going to have to commit to the plant. He should get this in at the very least, maybe dodging Torben, who is now oh so close. But the Molotov could burn him either in or out. First frag's found up close. They're coming forward. He's spraying, and all he needs the headshot, but it's just not gonna connect. Torben takes the round, and Fragsters win the upset.
That's very unfortunate as well. I mean, Stifmeister coming into this game as big underdogs, considering how well Fragsters have not only been playing last season, but this one as well. So for Stifmeister to get the pistol, it put them up for a great start. But now that start has been relinquished from them. Fragsters' chance to kick the ball or get the ball rolling on the CT side. Stifmeister still will be going for the force up, though. They've got a couple of AKs behind this buy, and they should be able to get some pistols as well. The issue is Dancy's, Cray. I mean, they've only got Glocks here. It's going to be an upgrade, actually. Oh, no, they got armor. Gun thrown over to Dancy's and Astro. Again, 2 players, I said. Good decision, in my opinion, but we'll see what they can get done with it, because Fragsters have a lot of utility and a lot of weapons as well. And Stifmeister almost playing in essentially a 5-on-4 here, with Crane not having armor or any gun to work with, just a deagle. And he's already getting tagged down through the smoke. Bubsky going to finish him off. And now they really are playing in a 5-on-4.
Of course, with only the 2 flashbangs, it's not like they're going to have the utility to easily take back the banana control, but Astro is still able to get himself the headshot on the AK. Now, meanwhile, Link obviously is cleared up through the apartment, so they're definitely getting some map control back towards A. Whether or not they want to push the issue past Dragonfly into Arch as a whole other story. But at least Refresh's positioning here on Banana is good to be an early indicator of any kind of a threat. Once the smoke fades, he may be able to spot somebody. And seeing presence here will tell him, of course, that they have their eyes on B. And they will charge forward as Refresh charges back into a more defensive position, with Dragonfly coming forward, putting down the flames. Astru's still thinking about going through it, and he does, just right past the flash. Good enough to blind a couple, but Hugo, there's a lot of numbers here, and the CT is boosting up as Refresh goes down. The terrorists have positioning now, and the plant to boot, unless, of course, Astru's denied. Goldsmeden's just there. 7 HP is enough, but he still stands. The CT finally traded out, and now docked his task to clutch.
Oh, that looks scary for a second. That MP9 could have certainly taken 2 or 3 kills there, but luckily Stifmeister regained composure for the time being. Doctis is now given an opener. With that kill, he gets in with 1 more. Astro holding the angle, though, and he'll be able to clean up the round. So it's 2-1 for Stifmeister. Their force buy works out as well. It's a great effect of only having 2 rifles in play up against the many on the side of Fragsters. Now with a 2-1 scoreline, Fragsters looking to bring the heat as well. They're forcing up Mag 7, pistols and armor in play, a bit of utility, but this buy from Stifmeister is definitely far better. They're going to have 4 AKs in play, and as long as they hold this one passive for the time being, let Fragsters use their utility, they're going to be walking up against a completely unarmored team, or unequipped team, may I say. However, it's a B stack.
Yeah, if they just continue feeling out A as they have in the most recent rounds, they should find it open for the taking. Think back and realize, of course, that Stifmeister tend to throw 1 or 2 guys up into the apartments just to get that map control. And from that, they could conclude that A site's open for the taking. However, it's a could situation, Hugo. It's a probability, possibility. And now the reality. They do charge up. They've had enough. The waiting game has come to a close. And war awaits.
Well, the pre-rotation from Dragonfly will be well-timed at the very least. Stifmeister slowed themselves down, and that allows Dragonfly to get in position on Arch. He'll be able to hold this one off for at least 1 kill if they push towards him, but they instead just rappelled away. Or Frey, he's still going to recover, pulling out his AK-47, finds a kill, and Cray and Astro open up this A-bomb site. Easy peasy for Stifmeister. They take the site, they take the round, and Frax is just looking to hold on to these 2 pistols in play. This is not a doable one for the CT side, and Stifmeister, 3-1 start so far, looking good, considering how strong Fraxes have been playing leading up to this matchup.
I might be putting you on the spot here, Mr. Byron, but I was going to ask you, you know, I had never even heard the term Stifmeister until the upset versus Gambit the other day. And you said that, you know, they've been a lineup of some time now in terms of UKCS.
Yeah.
Have they accomplished anything else that you find noteworthy?
See, I don't want to say no in case I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, I think this is... Maybe I don't follow the local UK lands, like iSeries or Epic lands, so I honestly couldn't comment. Maybe they placed well, but I'm not going to comment because I don't know. Outside of MDL, I have no idea. Maybe someone in the chat can help you out, but at least locally...
Help you out, Hugo.
Yeah, or help me out.
Your question.
I mean, locally, I don't follow the scene, so I can't comment.
It's fair. I was making a presumptuous statement.
How dare you?
Let's see what happens when I assume you might know something.
Former CEX team, yeah, already. They played ROG, and they got through the UK qualifier, got a couple of wins in the European section online. Didn't make it to the LAN finals, however. That's something else I know. When they're on the CEX.
I'm genuinely just asking out of interest because, again, right, we have some teams this season of Mountain Dew League which we've never had before. There's names in here as well. There's always, you know, a few of these lineups that are very unknown entities in terms of Premier level or Mountain Dew League material. So you know, I apologize for putting you on the spot, but
no, it's okay. I feel like I should know more, but
yeah, you should, Hugo.
Yeah,
let your country down.
I know.
I can tell you everything about Canadian Counter-Strike.
Well, either way, 4-1 up for Stifmeister so far, looking good. Dragonfly posted on mid with the AWP, and he'll be kicking off this round with a bang. Cray dropped, and despite him having no armor, he gets away unscathed. So Stifmeister now in a man disadvantage, got to claw their way back up, and through the apartments they go. This is something I've been seeing from them when they do run info. They like their apps bursts. Darcy, he's going to push up through middle, at least in the meantime, try and split onto this bomb site. Stifmeister, they set up the flashbang, but with 3 players up on the A site and a 4th coming in through the archway, this is going to be a stacked site for Fragsters. Stifmeister, they're going to need some big kills. They don't check the balcony, but they do take down Storm, and second kill coming in is Link's going to drop Doctors, but it is a response from Bubsky. 2v3.
Dragonfly smoked off partially, trying to work the gap as his teammates wrap through the apartments. And Refresh lingers on. He's not wanting to push up through truck lane just yet, but he will have to clear the porch eventually. And Bubsky very wary of the pit position, but both T's now making noise, so Bubsky's going to call that they are, of course, on this lane, and the first's been slain, the second tagged up significantly, and Bubsky's going to drop for the reload. This pushes Dragonfly onto the bomb. This is going to push Stifler back into the site, and sure enough, he's down for. Bubsky clears it up, and that's Fragsters back on the board with a second.
Keeping this game close, but 3 players surviving, and the AWP, in fact, as well. So Fragsters actually take forward a fair bit of money despite losing 3 guys. That being said, Stifmeister still have a plethora of cash to fall back on. They got 10k on Link before the buy, and so they'll be buying up plentiful. AKs on everyone, and AWP in the hands of Darcy. I want to see if we have such aggression from Bubsky up on the B side. We saw him perform very well on the T side, picking off the aggressive CTs up on B. I want to see if he's going to have the same success here as well. He is outside of B for the time being, but the Molotov going in deep, and Stifmeister not choosing to contest Banana just yet. Although Cray is, and he's receiving a lot of nade damage as a result. Got to be careful. As Fragsters use a lot of early utility, you can already see they're low on smokes and Molotovs. Only a couple left. Stifmeister barely used any of theirs, so they're going to have plenty for the execute, or even fake if they want to throw that in. I mean, they've got plenty of options right now. Refresh and Bubsky, both without nades, are going to fall off of the B controls. They don't want to contest towards car, and go for the boost towards the back of B site instead, as Stifmeister now take that banana control.
See Fragsters just shuffling here towards Arch side as well. They're reading that they should make some kind of a move. But what exactly do they want to do? Put that op in front? Allow for Bubsky to support on the boost? You can see, of course, Dancy's trying to get in position to op as well. Oh. So the op duel's won here by Stifmeister. They try to go parading forward. Bubsky's looking to pop some heads, and he will stop the first. Spam going back and forth now. As the CTs do rotate over, they're going to boost again. And Stifler, they might be waiting for this. Sure enough, Astro tries to double back. It will be traded by Frey. But it's a 3v3 regardless. And the bomb plant good for Banana, where 2 Ts do still stand. Dancy's included on the op.
And no utility, though. Kits are good enough at least, but Stifmeister, they're just going to be able to hold down the angles. Molotov down. Frags has held out for another few seconds. Is going to give Stifmeister more and more time to work with. Darcy still posted in Frey. His attention's drawn, but the flashbang will actually blind him as well. Darcy tries to catch a cross, but instead Frey takes a kill away from him. And now there's just no time. Fragsters have got to bail, but they're not allowed to. Frey takes 2 more kills. That's a 4k in that round. Stifmeister, a 5th on the board.
Awkward situation now for Fragsters. They have been reset. They will invest with what they can. It's the Kevlar and the pistols. Bubsky lucky enough to hang on to that Mag 7 as well. So they've got something to play off of, but it's bare bones minimum. It's dry. And arguably just a matter of time before Stifmeister get the best of them. Full utility, patient setup. Although the bomb is up close here. I'd like for Link to be extra careful. You'd hate to see him lose that.
Could be a big risk, but Frags is not getting too aggressive apart from this close short position and Storben up on long. Smoke's down. Stifmeister not going to push with it. They're just trying to get rid of some utility from the CT side, just holding this passive default for now. Frags, they're not going to be feeding them any kills just yet. A minute left on the clock, and Stifmeister realizing now they've got to start to make a move if they want to get their foot in this round. Smoke down towards mid will delay them for another 15 seconds, but that's pretty much all the utility we have left on Fragsters. No kits, only 2 flashbangs. And Stifmeister have been doing a very good job of at least holding on to the utility until late round scenarios, not going for early executes and then, Fragsters just smoking them off and Stifmeister sitting with no nades. And now they've got plenty, so they can go up towards short. But will they expect a double stack? There's two to the right. One's found in the trade from Darcy's. He looks back, but he's flying. Teammates come in for support, but they actually come in to kill him. Cray takes the head of his teammate, but does follow up. Bubsky now last man alive, and the site is open. Stifmeister should have the round, but Bubsky, he looks for damage.
Could be another kill. Oh, damage is all he gets. Frey stays alive with 5 HP. That's a robbery, Hugo Byron. Especially considering it's the top fragger at 11 and 4. Would have been nice to chip away at his success. Remind him of his mortality. But Stifmeister will feel like gods in this round as they have the massive advantage of having guns versus pistols. And of course, Fragster's just going to simplify things with the B-site stack. Now, they could push, they could wait. Those are pretty much their only options. And, well, the Molotov forces their hand to hold.
Early banana aggression potentially. Storben's pushed up. Flash over. Frey, he turns around. He'll connect the spray. 2 kills come in, but actually 3 for Cray. Frey dead instead. Now, last man already falling down. Stifmeister have taken the B control pretty easily, and that'll be their round in the bag. Not too much of an issue. Looked scary for a second, but Cray's going to hold strong, and now 7-2. This is far more dominant than I kind of expected coming into this game, Connor. Stifmeister looking good.
Especially with how well we watched Fragsters perform yesterday. They dispatched of Wendigo and then still had some rounds of competition versus Gambit. We kind of we slotted them in to our expectations yesterday, but now today this seems like a whole other beast. This first successful T-side from Stifmeister continues on. However, not going to be the easiest of rounds this time. It is still M4s and an op for Fragsters, although a glass cannon. And despite dwindling utilities already here, CT is down to a single smoke and a trio of flashbangs, no flames, no frags, and no kills thus far. But still yet again a passive setup here. They're allowing the abs control to be taken by Stifmeister. They're just sitting patiently back on Arch. We haven't really seen any aggressive pushes from Fragsters unless it is that contesting of Banana. I would love to see them maybe try to play more proactively in the apartments, try to take back some map control from Stifmeister and limit their options. Because Stifmeister, in my eyes, have been afforded space. They've been allowed to do what they wish to do. And whenever you let a team do that, you are putting them in their comfort zone. And that heightens the likelihood of them to succeed. So with all these utilities still on Stifmeister, they can blanket the A bomb site with smokes and fire. But can they get the frags? Because Dragonfly just picked himself the first.
Yeah, and Storben's close to the bomb player as well. Cray rounds the corner alone. He's got no teammate to trade there. He pushes far too late, so there's not going to be a single refrag from the T side. Finally, Darcy will respond, and he'll be able to pick up the bomb as well. So Stifmeister need to hit this A site, but there's still 2 more defenders. Astro rids the site of one of them. Still in the pit, Doctors sits, and he gets himself one. Second one, good angle into Frey. But the bomb plant's going down, and Darcy's has found himself in a 1-on-3. Doable, but he needs to find himself a quick kill to turn this into a 1v2 because he's still got that man alive in pit, shooting from the side. Bubsky also gives away his position as the long wrap comes in from refresh. He's out of the apartment. Darcy's is cornered. Surely there's nothing he can do here. Shots from all positions, and that's it. Doctors finds him. It's going to be another round on the board for Fragsters, but Stifmeister at least get the bomb down.
Yeah, that to me is very awkward positioning from Dancy's. I feel like he was not comfortable whatsoever there. Scoped into the middle boxes, hoping that the peek comes around from Library. He had exposed himself to pit in order to sneak back into that position, so Fragsters could have easily blindsided him already. And he was really just lucky to be alive. So I don't think the plant's really all that bad. Stifmeisters still have to be excited of the outcome. Every single time that Fragsters have won a round, it's been by defuse, and it's been with only 3 or less players alive. So they've been in this position before, Stifmeister, and they've punished the CTs in the following round all of the other times. They should not be concerned. They should be confident in what is already a successful T-side here on Inferno, and what has plentiful opportunity to be even better. Bountiful chances they have, Hugo.
Well, look at this stack from Fragsters. They've got the boost up from Dragonfly with the AWP, and that allows for 4 players on A, but Still dangerous so early in the round. Not a lot of information to work with. Stifmeister could easily back off towards that B bomb side, but at least we have the Molotov left on Dragonfly to delay after he fires off an AWP shot. Can just go for a pick, molly, run back. But it seems like for now, Stifmeisters are looking towards the A side of the map. 4 players pushed up. Oh, sorry, 3 that is. They've got a boost going on in Banana over the top of the smoke, and that won't find anything. Dragonfly actually spots him. Cray doesn't need to overpeak here. Very dangerous fight to take up against an AWP without utility, and he will at least throw in a smoke to allow them some map control. That's good, actually, because that can allow Cray to push all the way up to the top of Banana. And with that one AWP spotted alone, Stifmeister actually having a bit of a read. They kind of know that Fragsters are running a solo AWP player, so they'll commit. And that Molotov will hold them back. And now look at the wrap. They made their way up through Archway, or at least they tried, but Refresh has shut them down straight away. Now it's all left to the AWP on the B side, but that falls instantly, and Refresh has got to pick up these kills.
And he's tagged. Dragonfly just put a lot of pressure on his team in that moment. He could have fallen back. He could have just turtled up in the bomb site. Look at the time. 10 seconds left. They would have had to come to him, but now they've got the bomb plant. He has created a window of opportunity for Stifmeister to punch right through, and Refresh tagged, immediately dropped off of the boost. Docked his trying to flank, but Cray gets himself another. And obviously Frey on 15 HP is going to hold the flank, so there you have it. Fragsters. They had an opportunity once Refresh locks down Arch, but I disagree with Dragonfly's commitment to the peak there. Yeah. I understand wanting to take it down to just two Ts remaining, but it's not worth it, man. You've got time to play. You have teammates inbound on that rotation, and you have already a kernel of defense on the A site. That is a mistake, and that's one that'll cost them.
Another round on the board for the T's now, and this is getting more and more out of control for Fragsters. 8 rounds on T-side Inferno is a great half, but we're not even done. Look at the money of Fragsters. They have pistols in play now. They could force, but realistically, it wouldn't be worth it. They need to eco and go for the buy in a round or two's time. Honestly, if they don't put any cash into this, they could get a buy next round. It would be a bit bare bones, but they could get it. Might lack that AWP with armor, but they get some utility with their M4s, apart from one Doctis, who's slightly lower on the money, so he needs to get some kills, but already tagged down and shot out of the apartments by Astro. Man up for Stifmeister already, and that gun dropped in an inaccessible position. Not going well for Fragsters.
They continue to try and creep and crawl their way through the apps, but Stifler and Stifmeister. I keep calling them all Stifler, Hugo.
Yeah, I know. I did
they have,
and I was like, I swear they're so stiff.
All the teams of Mountain Dew League, they have their team name at the end, and obviously Stifler's a character from American Pie, so it just rolls off the tongue. You love
a good Stifler, Connor.
That I do, Hugo. That I do. Refresh loves himself a good AK-47. That's what he's picked up this round, and Astro walks around the corner, gets gushed up through the wall. Still successful to the spinal tap as Refresh tries to retreat. 9-3. 3-9. However you like it served. That's where we sit.
UKCS making the comeback, Connor.
Well, they need to make up for their casting scene, Hugo.
Oh, I can't even come back with that one. I have nothing. Well, AWP up on Dragonfly, but no armor as expected, and he's already dead. Quick peek from mid. Astro has been on fire this map. Quite early kill, and Frey will follow up through the smoke. That's a bit ridiculous. 15 kills on that man too. Stifmeister are having no issue opening up this A-bomb site. Maybe expecting a bit of a stack with kills coming so easily, but Darcy shuts down a rotation on B. The only man left is Doctis, and while he does drop the bomb, that will be all she wrote. He is dead. And Refresh is the last man up, but buddy, I think you're on the wrong side of the map. Stifmeister have already taken A. He's probably going to have to hold on to this gun till the next round if they let him, because these T's have all the money in the world. They can easily hunt for this final frag.
This is pretty wild, man. This is what I would argue as the third upset of the night. I mean, Unity versus NUA
I wouldn't even
really
call that an upset, no. Like,
but
NUA
just because I would have given more opportunity to NUA. I would have given higher expectations to NUA.
But off of results alone, I mean, they've only got 3 games logged, and all 3 of them are losses. So
yeah, but they've got the Mikey Lily. What more do you need, Byron?
Wins.
You got me there. Executing is Refresh, just sitting there, kind of chilling. Hugo, as with the rest of Fragsters, cold like a bunch of corpses. And it's not looking any better. The money's still shot. The economy in shambles. But with heads held high, they'll walk into this 14th round. They've got some deagles. They have a little bit of Kevlar. Hell, they even have a smoke.
But this is a horrible buy for Fragsters. Pistols. One armored player. Does I can't even speak, Connie. Distracting me on your camera. What are you doing? 4v4. They're gonna find the frag at apartments, and there's only one man left up on A. That's Storben. He's sat in the pit. Rotations come in. Bubsky actually gets aggressive down the banana. And look at that. He kills Dances. Gets himself an AWP. There's no way Stifmeister should throw away these players to this gun. They should just hit A. They're up against pistols. There's no reason to contest with this solo B player. But now Fragsters, 3 pistols on A, 1 AWP on B. Stifmeister have made this a lot more uncomfortable for themselves. Them chasing that frag after the AWP was picked up was a big risk to make. And now they're going to have to pay the price. The only positive is they do have 2 sets of utility, so they can easily smoke off this position that Bubsky sits in if they want to take the B side.
Yeah, with all the utility they have, I almost would actually favor hitting up where the AWP fell back off to, right? Like, the pistol stack's one thing. Sure, it's unarmored pistol arrows, but you smoke and Molotov off the AWP, he's going to fade off at the angle, he's going to give you the space to plant, and if you start spamming smoke, well, then you just pummel shots right back. That's the game plan in my mind, and Stifmeister seem to be on the same page here, Hugo. Great minds think alike, but do they use the utilities? That's what is most crucial. You cannot afford Bubsky the angle. Try to flash, and the flash a little late, but the shot astray, and the opportunity presents itself for Stifmeister as they get onto the bomb site with 10 seconds left. They get the kill to the Opper, but Refresh has an AK, and Goldsmieden's already retrieved his gun. There it is. Frey watching flank, Dragonfly trades, and the second frag is found. The 4th round as well. Here for Fragsters, they'll get themselves another.
That's so unlucky. I mean, it's all down to chasing that AWP there. If not, they keep a 3v4, and that's totally doable up against pistols. But at the end of the day, a lost round isn't the end of the game. They've still got a 10-4 half, and maybe even 11. While Fragsters do have the money to buy up after winning that round, Stifmeister are going to have plenty more where that came from. So double AWP up for the CT side, single up on Dances. Even if Fragsters find this 5th round, they're going to need a big comeback, and the pistol will surely be a necessity here moving into the second half. Stifmeister, early smoke up top of banana, try and get some control towards Carl. We got a boost with the AWPs, and Dances will hold it. He's ready for that push from Dragonfly, will not catch them off guard. So there's the first kill. Spots Bubsky on the jump and catches him as well. 2 kills from Dances. That's a kill on either side of the map as well. So not even an opener to a site. They'll slow things down a little bit.
Creeping past the smoke is Refresh. He's waiting for it, and Stifler.
That's the second time Cray has killed his teammate.
Yep, blasts Astro this time. Frey's going to go right through, however, and still finds Torben. And it's up to Doctiz. Obviously, this round chalked up to Dances. There's some quick flicks on the AWP, presumptuous reads, and success. Last man down for the count. There we go. 11-4, Hugo Byron. Stifmeister with a substantial lead. And now, of course, the CT side to play off of. This is a situation whereby the pistol could conduct a win. If, of course, they can assumingly convert the points, which is something we've seen struggle, right? So we can't count out Fragsters. I think they have a fantastic T side. I think they're another one of these teams that can actually curb the success of their opponents on a T side. They can definitely manage and handle the tempo. They can play with it, slow it down, speed it up, do what they have to do, and definitely try to put Dragonfly in a position to succeed. I always see him as their kind of, X factor.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this roster is really strong, and they've been getting better and better each season. So I hope they can continue this season. It'd be a shame to see them, top last time, not make it through the playoffs, and then not even make playoffs this season. I'd like to see them at least in that top 8. And to be honest, I'd like to watch them at LAN. We talked about this a little bit the other day, Connor. They went to WSG. They went expected to get out of the group. They had a fairly easy group as well, you would say, in comparison to some of the others. but they fell a bit short, and as a result, they won't be making finals. So Frags is having a little bit of not much LAN experience, I guess you could say, in comparison to some of the other teams. So yeah, it'd be nice to see them on LAN at ESEA finals this season. But Stifmeister, also a contender so far, because they are performing very well in this map. 11-4 up, looking for their 3rd win this season. It's going to be, well, everything in their favor, right? Pistol round ahead soon, and if they can pick that up, surely this is their game to take.
Surely it could be, but there's only one way to find out, and that's, of course, to stay tuned. Second half's going to start shortly, guys, but in the meantime, we're just going to throw it to some tunes, enjoy the music, sit back, relax, and don't go too far.
These roads intersect, on each one I reflect. These lines write my story. These places change me, each one replacing. Like night into morning, I miss the open air, the going anywhere, riding with you like we used to. Guess I'm better off alone, never know when I'll get home, but I know that home's where the heart is. Guess I'm better off this way, moving to better days, but I know that home's where the heart is. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Alrighty, folks. Stifmeister took a quick chance to freshen up, and now they're going to be looking to close out this game in the second half on the CT side after dismantling the offense of the Young Danes team Fragsters. Of course, right into the pistol and right into the B-side stack. Stifmeister with a trick up their sleeve.
Yeah, let's see if Fragsters walk into this, although the bomb's on the other side of the map, so it may just be Storben running in alone. He's wrapped. He's gone through the spawn. Does Stifmeister know this? They must work it out. Astro will spot it, so he can see Storben wrapping back towards the A side of the map, and now it's panic for Stifmeister. A good setup initially has gone drastically wrong, and Cray, he can't get a single frag. If he finds one there, maybe this round looks good, but Stifmeister, not only do they have a long rotation, but Astro's low, they're in a 4v5, and they're retaking on the A-bomb site.
And we've got this weird setup here inside of Library. Look at Torben just pinned into the corner. Oh, they're going to walk right past. He's going to execute two. Could find a third. And he does. Last man's going to be Link. The 4K is on the table. And the damage has been served. The round has been gobbled up by Team Fragsters. And surely this last frag's coming in. Oh my goodness. What a setup. What a switch.
I mean, you're never going to check there, right? Especially not after killing one player in Library. That's a really nice setup from Fragsters. Because you would assume that there'd be at least one player covering mid, right? And two more on the site. So Yeah, Stifmeister none the wiser there. I like the initial B setup, but that was really well played from Storburn to run up on B and actually wrap in through the CT spawn instead of committing to his death. Not only does he, play around and bait the players out on the B site, but also he gets a lot of information. Allows Fragsters just to burst A because he spots everyone on B. Great round for Fragsters to kick things off. Could be the start of a comeback, but they're going to need a lot more where that just came from. We have a force up on the CT side. CZs and a scout. As Fragsters, they've got a couple of rifles to play with, but very heavy on the SMGs early on. Banana control is taken. Stifmeister forced off the angle. They're going to fall back to a more passive B approach.
It almost looks like Stifmeister want to make a aggressive stance here on mid, and they will do so by counter boosting over smoke, dealing additional damage. Goldsmeeden was tagged up by a friendly grenade, so Fragster's even helping out Stifmeister at this point. And Stifmeister not really extending on any aggression. They're not pushing down mid after the fact. They know that they've probably tagged up one, so they will play responsively to the presence of Team Fragsters currently being shown towards B. But will this keep the commitment of the majority CTs? You'd hope not, because you see that bomb doubling back towards mid. They're on the fence here, Hugo. They're not quite sure what they want to do, but it does seem like they'll go through the smoke into the CTs. Torben just spotted 3, fully flashed, and now he's still alive, tapping and slicing with his knife, but he can't find anything.
What is going on? What's going on?
He's still up! He's still alive, and they take down the A site. I don't know what that was.
I don't think a single bullet was shot from any of the CTs there. They couldn't find him. They were just running around, rampantly looking for that frag. That was such bad timing though, because the second he bursted through the smoke, they swapped positions. They pushed in through the smoke. You really hate to see it.
Oh my god. What a scary situation. You come into the smoke, there's people all around you. You go back in it. You come back out, there's just one. Oh, my heart would be pounding. I feel so bad, but hey, man, it worked. Stifmeister down into just USPs this time. They're looking to get that round 4 bye on the table. So they'll have to deal with the armorless defense this time around. But wow, that could have gone so differently.
Well, very, very messy. But this one should be clean. It's full USPs for Stifmeister and SMG still in play for Fragsters. Flash to middle, trying to force some kind of kill here from the CT side. It's not going to work out, Connor. It's a mowdown. It's a massacre, in fact. And it's 7 rounds on the board for Fragsters. They're starting to climb their way back, but this is where we have the bye. This is what we've all been waiting for. Connor is on the edge of his seat, and I am too. Stifmeister on the rifles. No AWP on Dances. That's a limiting factor because Dragonfly has one of his own. But Babski's still running the Mac 10, however. Look at the head armor, or should I say lack of. There's none. This Mac 10 is going to be very lethal once it gets around corners. So Stifmeister need to keep the range against that SMG.
Passive A-site defense. Close proximity towards Banana here by Astro. Smoke grenade's going to block off his vision, so he puts a smoke down of his own, and he's worried that they will come parading through it, despite the terrorists now heading back towards mid. So looks like they're just going to leave this anchor in Banana. That's Bubsky. He could be a thorn in their side, attempting to hit this site late, creating a distraction, preventing rotations, and just being a nuisance through and through. They obviously still have a minute to play with. Sometimes Fragsters loves to slow down the pace of a game, and they don't have to choke out their opponents with aggression. They'll just make them think and make the inexperience of Stifmeister shine through. If they make the mistakes on the CT side, then Fragster's job is that much easier to complete.
50 seconds on the clock and no map control for Fragsters. They have taken the top side of Banana, and that's from Bubsky, so he can hold it if Stifmeister decide to get aggressive and push down, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Seeing as Stifmeister run out of smokes and only one Molotov left on the B bomb site, there's no reason for them to push down and contest towards the B site, so Bubsky's position is null and void. Maybe he can catch rotates, but Fragsters, ooh, they're going to rotate back off themselves. Astro still has a Molotov here. If he places this at the right time, he could easily even split up the attack of Fragsters or completely slow them on the push. Frey mollied off on the coffins. Astro pops out his molly and follows up with a flashbang, but Frey's got an angle. There's the bomb, and that's ample time for a rotation. 10 seconds left. He's getting wrapped, but he will be a rare. Storben dead. Frey needs to follow up, but he can't. Doesn't matter. Bomb plot, I don't think it's in time. It's just a second off. Oh, by a millisecond. Stifmeister win the round. Fragsters going to be kicking themselves.
That's awkward. Unfortunate. And probably a little tilting, Hugo, I have to admit. No pause called here to even things out, to kick off the dirt. But it will leave both teams to buy, because that's what happens when 3 players survive. Everybody's got guns. Everybody's got grenades. Even kits aplenty. But it is, again, a emphasis on banana. Team Fragsters with 4 nearby. Fry and Astro not really wanting to push the envelope here, and I wouldn't blame them. They've got the utility to just stay alive. They can play counter grenades on an execution. They can try to hold back 1 or 2 with frags. But you can see them discussing positioning within the site. Look at the way they keep looking at each other and trying to figure out where they're going to stand. They have opted to put Astro in the back of sight and Frey just up closer. No support nearby. Rotations at a distance. So they opt to boost. Kind of adds a little bit of extra layer to the defense here, right? But Team Fragsters at that minute mark do double back towards the top of mid. They've done this time and time again. This has been their standard, their default. Potentially their key to success if they can reset the CTs here and now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Astro's got to be careful with holding this molly here, because they can easily walk up close. If they sneak and play contact on B, Frey's not going to have the angle, and Astro will just get shot before he's even ready. So he needs to get this Molotov down. He's just expecting Fragsters to make noise. Molly's down, 30 seconds left. No utility up for Stifmeister on this B bomb site either, so Frags are going to have to be hit. 4 players about to push and then flash into pool as well. Timed for Stifmeister. They're ready for this push. Astro posted. He needs to turn back. His timing gets the better of him, but Frey lines up 2 with the UMP. Big kills. Needs 1 more to make it worth as well, but it's not coming through. Doesn't matter. He's done his job. Can Stifmeister do theirs? As Link tries to come in from the coffins, the AWP's posted on the angle, and Dancy's, he's going to be reconsidering this round. It looks like a save. So a reset comes in after the first buy for Stifmeister. 8 rounds on the board for Fragsters.
Yeah, big 8 rounds as well, because it's a big opportunity. It's a chance to close the gap even further, potentially securing those double digits. CT's not able to buy in the next round. Maybe if this M4 moves forward, they buy around it, but I would like to just see them stabilize their cash and come back with a full buy, Hugo Byron. I don't know how I feel about that 2-man inside B defense. Team Fragsters have been indicating themselves right away at that banana. They've been throwing the early Molotovs and whatnot. So if you rotate a 3rd player over towards the B site and then you try to play counter grenades at near that minute mark, right? We haven't seen Team Fragsters execute into the bomb site before a minute long. So you know that for the first 45 seconds or so, they're just creeping up banana. They're getting close to mid. That's a perfect opportunity to Molotov back the cubbies, frag down deep, and then just soften up those targets so they're easier to take down. It's not going to happen in this round, obviously, with the pistols in play, but Stifmeister should have this fresh in their minds for when they come back with guns.
Yeah, again, this is not a lead you want to throw away if you're Stifmeister. An 11-4 half. Had everything going for them, and they still do. Dancy's is going to open up this round. He's found a kill onto Refresh in the apps, and almost traded by Dragonfly, but the Molotov actually forced him back off mid. So well timed for Dancy's. It could have got the better of him. Instead, after that pick, Fragsters look to walk into B, and that's where we have the quad stack. Only pistols with such a strong crossfire. They could certainly put up a kill or 2 here. Let's see. Bubsky comes in, and they line up for him. 2 frags. Astro's the 3rd man down, and Storben going to even cover the CT spawn. It's a complete mop-up for Fragsters. Could have been dangerous, but the kills were not found. Dancy's lost alive.
He's creeping and crawling. He's found his way past Doctiz, who I'm thinking assumes this is safe. Okay. Dancy's will opt to take 1 down. Not looking for anything much more. If anything, of course, he knows that the T's will double back through banana, so can he find another one? I mean, hell, Bubsky's tagged up on 24. But no. Instant headshot. Torben pops him. Fragsters will take their 9th round. And still, it's just pistols for Stifmeister. So they will have a curb purchase here in the 7th of the second half. Couple tidbits of utility. Oh, my. Even an M4 on Link. All right. Okay.
Maybe a misbuy, I'm expecting. Not really in line with the team. He had a little bit more money than the others. You can see he got a smoke, he got armor, he got an M4. So yeah, he actually had more than his entire team. That must be to do with it. Bit of an awkward communication error there. That may cost them some money in the future, or it will, in fact, because Link will be forcing up when they go for the buy in the upcoming round. But they will have a good buy on everyone else. That's a positive. Everyone has so much cash here. 3K plus the 24 that they'll be getting, so it should be just be over 5 for most players. In fact, even 6 for some. But Cray fighting in middle. There's a big kill. He takes down Refresh, and while he is traded, a 1-for-1 when you only have a P250 is worth it. The issue is that just weakens EA defense, and now it's only Link there with a rifle. However, for the 2 sites, I think if Fragsters push A, there's more chances that Link can get 2-3 kills on than Stifmeister are going to get anything done with these pistols. They were already proven to not be successful in the previous round, and they're running a similar setup, this time 2 towards CT. Astra are going to pre-rotate back round as the smoke lands on coffins. And Stifmeister somewhat prepared for this B-side take, but will they hit the shots? Once again, the question mark. Oh, Astra set up a flash.
Yep, that's exactly it. They have that one flash to play off of, but Frey is fully blind and Bubsky successful. That was the play, Hugo. If that flashbang was on target, then maybe they mop some up, similarly to what Link could have done on the gun. And however, everyone's dead at the B site. CT's down to just Link. And this, my friends, is a save. So if he can keep himself alive, then it's all right that he bought, right? Would have given them a single site defense this round, and banking on pistols elsewhere is enough of a strategy to work. But I do have to praise Team Fragsters on the T side of Inferno. They're coming back in. They're playing a very nice default. They've been taking banana control every single round. We've seen multiple times where Bubsky is just left to his own devices, creeping in the corners at the top of banana and locking those defenders into B. That gives so much space for Fragsters then to work their efforts at A site, clearing out apartments. And really, Stifmeister, I think, have gone on the defensive now. They've given up enough of a lead whereby they feel like they're being taken back. They feel like the comeback is rolling forward, and so they don't want to they no longer want to take risks. And if you're not taking risks, then you're allowing Fragsters to play their game. Very similar to what happened in the first half, right? We said that Fragsters weren't going on enough of a trek offensively. They were just sitting back and playing responsibly, which is great when you're getting kills, but we've seen time and time again that the utility here is hindering Stifmeister. The smokes, the Molotovs, it's preventing them from holding down bomb sites, and that's a very difficult retake over towards B. So I would like to see Stifmeister erect some kind of a defense, some kind of an aggressive stance here. And that's hard because you hear the Molotovs popping off in the early round. You've had this wall spam inside of apartments, and no one on Stifmeister wants to die in the first 30 seconds, so they're not taking these risks.
For this side for Fragsters, the apps control, they're already at the edge. They're about to burst this A bomb site just straight off the bat. And Link, he's not ready for it. Neither's Cray, who's already dead. Gets a dink off in time, but Link now hiding at the back of the site. How much can he get done? Fragsters continue barraging the site with utility, and Link waits for the contact play, but they'll surely check the corner, or will they? They don't. He gets one, but he shoots too early. Refresh fires back, and Stifmeister down on 2 players. They have to give up the A site. They have to give up the round, Connor. 11 for Fragsters. This is a comeback that Stifmeister were not hoping for.
Yeah, this is looking like a very clinical T side from Team Fragsters. It's very layered, and I love that. Again, it just shows that they're comfortable on the offense here for Inferno. I think the way we're watching Bubsky just constantly hit this B site and prevent rotations is great as well. It's very important to try and rotate players preemptively on Inferno. You don't want people getting in late to the party because after plants are so damn strong. And Team Fragsters changing pace as well. We had just discussed that they were waiting until at least the minute mark to hit anything. And now this round, by the time it's 15 seconds deep, they're on the cusp of the apartment peak. Like, that's such a change of tempo, such a change of pace. And I'm all for it. It's fresh, and you saw how well it caught Stifmeister off guard. That A-site defense was not prepared for it whatsoever, and it cost them another round. Another chance, the comeback being given to the Danes as the rebuy will trickle forward. It's kind of light. FAMAS here in the hands of Astro. Little bits of utility for both Link and Cray, but at least they've got the firepower to try and hold them back.
This is not the last opportunity, but the last opportunity to keep this lead that they've had since the first half. Fragsters is up the top of Banana. Dancy's is posted with the AWP on the angle, so he may be able to get one quick pick, but Dragonfly may be jumping on top of the boxes here. That could be dangerous. Line up with the AWP, not going to connect. Gives away the fact that they're running this AWP, so that will scare off Fragsters somewhat, but the Molotov will give them control at the very least. Jump across, or leg for Dancy's. Damage done. Won't finish off the frag, though, so Bubsky gets a second chance at life, but still, he's low. Stifmeister a little bit more of aware of the apartments from now on. Link re-smoking that. Doesn't want to be jumped out of again. As Fragsters, they look to hit this A site.
Man, as mentioned, tempo and pacing. This is Fragsters having hit quickly last round and now just right back into this slow creep and crawl.
Nice.
But Link, there's the little ambition. There's the push forward, just trying to stop the setup from Fragsters. And he does so successfully, reeling back into pit and maintaining the defense. They're in the same positions they were 10 seconds ago, but they have an additional kill. And already, you can see Dancy's getting closer towards the A site, but Refresh pops the man in pit. Now Link caught off guard, sandwiched and successful. He hits a second dink, and Astro sprang from the back of the bomb site, puts it on the ground, puts Dancy's in a prime position now as he pops Bubsky and Stifmeister take a round.
That was such a good round as well. I mean, it was so dependent on Link getting that first kill, getting aggressive in the middle area, but really, really nice frag. Opens up the round, and Fragsters, you could see instantly they started to struggle because they realized, oh, there's 30 seconds left. We've got to commit to the site. We've got no control past middle, and even then, you know, Stifmeister are just taking open peeks of that flashbang. So very well played from the CT side. They're back in control for now. Issue is they can't be allowed to get reset, and that's not a good start. Dragonfly quick up the banana, takes down Dance. He's holding the angle with the AWP. Now Fragsters back in the driving seat, at least for the time being. Frey's got to be very careful. Let's take the AWP instead as he falls back towards the coffins, but right now, no one's even opted to rotate from Stifmeister. They're deciding to keep 3 players on A for the time being.
But just like last round, you can see them at least taking some kind of an ambition here. They've boosted Cray up onto the wall. This would allow for a very strong crossfire with Astro. Also frees up Link to possibly fall off if he were to choose. And instead, he's taken down. Doctiz blasts him away. And the rest of the terrorists now trying to barrel into the B site, looking to get past that scope of Frey. As he pops flashes, calls for reinforcements. Frag damaging somewhat. Not good enough to stop the plant, not at all. Smoke refurbished, and the save's been called. Stifmeister give it up, and they're reset yet again.
Yeah, the only positive with this reset is that they hold on to 3 guns. If they can keep these weapons, which I assume, because Fragsters don't look like they're chasing at the moment, then Stifmeister can buy up around this, right? They have someone on 2,500, someone on 2,100. They can put somewhat of a buy going forward. The issue is, again, you know, they lose that and they still have $1,900 loss bonus. You know, it's essentially the reset around later. So they've been given a lifeline with this save, but they've got to win the next round, or to be honest, I think Fragsters are going to pull this one back. But Inferno's T-sided, Connor. Apparently that's a thing.
Apparently.
I mean, that's just UK. UK are pretty T-sided. So Fragsters at least. Nazi's back on that AWP, so saved weapon move forward. Fragsters, they know how important this round is as well. 2 players limited on utility. That's due to the save. It's already fast up Banana here for the T side. They're going to take quick control towards Car. Dancy's this time not holding the angle that he has been doing so. Instead, he's back to A. So it's just going to be Astro and Frey holding this position close. They tried this before. It didn't work out quite well. Fragsters barreling nades over the top just to try and do some damage, chip away at the health of Stifmeister, who will reposition on the back of the site.
I'm not a big fan of this kind of kernel defense at the A site. If a smoke grenade goes down on the right side, it's going to allow for this B wrap to kind of cement itself. You can see these 2 Ts at the top of mid thinking about either distracting at A or actually committing to the wraparound. And now that Link decides to smoke it himself, that just indicates the fallback, and they can't get any control on Arch side, right? You can see Dancy is just cut off by a smoke. So this now draws the rotation of Astro off of B. This is what weakens the B site defense. Not to mention Torben going on a tear will decide to commit for the wraparound. And there you have it. Stifmeister playing themselves this round. But they've decided to go for the fast flank. They understand what's unfolding here. And if they're fast enough, Hugo, if they can get there in time, then they can deny the push. They've denied the bomb at the very least. Dancy's gets it down. And the Molotov cuts him off, but he still spams only to lose his life to a 3v2.
Yeah, 17 seconds as well. They need to get this bomb down, but Astro and Frey have a crossfire. This is good. No need to peek for Frey, but he finds it. And Astro, he's also going to get a kill to secure the round. Stifmeister take it, 14-12. Couldn't have come closer that round. One player surviving, but that's all they needed to keep themselves in this matchup. Without that, Fragsters find the reset. They put them back down to terrible money, and Stifmeister may have lost the game, but now they've been given another shot. This comeback for Fragsters is going to be short-lived if Stifmeister can get their 15th.
That's such a quick decision there from Stifmeister to just barrel down mid, and it's the perfect call. It even could have gone better had they kept a man back by Banana, but the crossfire in sight is good enough. However, Fragsters look to change things up yet again, putting the majority of their players through apps, looking to get dangerously close to the bomb site. This would, in fact, put them behind the setup from Stifmeister in the last round, but it is not the same. It's Cray in the pit, popping the first head, hitting the second, and looking for more. It is, of course, Dragonfly just inside, and there's the MP9 on site. Link can't help with the cross, but the bomb has been dropped. It's just sitting there in the open. And the smoke's down. Bubsky successful in pinning the push from Arch. The peek comes in from the tees, and that's Cray with a third. They're so good right now, holding it back, but now the response here, Hugo.
Not sure if it's enough, though. Bubsky in a 1v3 is only going to get the first, and that's it. Stifmeister close it out for 15 rounds. Team Fragsters, they tried to pull the comeback, Connor. They brought it all the way to 12 after an 11-4 half, favoring Stifmeister, but they're only going to be buying up once more if Stifmeister can close out this map. AK's AWP on Dragonfly. No up for Stifmeister, though. That's something to note. They weren't able to save it in all of the commotion in the previous round, and they don't have the money for it either, so it's full rifles across the board. Dancy's has been getting a lot of picks here on the CT side, so it's important that they actually have this. But we'll see if they can make do without. Fragsters not given the banana control that they've been taking every single round. It's early smokes for Stifmeister to deny that presence, but instead it's Dragonfly in mid. He's got the AWP, and Stifmeister again. This time they've triple stacked up on the B bomb site, therefore giving up mid on A. They can't contest that with just two men, because the apartments will be open from the backside, and we've already seen how much pressure Fragsters have been putting on the app so far this half. Instead, these Ts are going to start to take mid, and at what point does Stifmeister decide to rotate a player over?
Again, it looks like Arch could be quintessential to the success here of Fragsters. That's, of course, assuming they can get past it, but with only two players on this site from Stifmeister, it's not as though they can afford to make plays. They have to play in response to what Fragsters shows them. You do, of course, see Astro thinking about this wraparound, wary of Library, concerned with Arch, as he should be. Obviously, the utility now starting to rain inwards. And in fact, that bomb doubles back towards Banana. This is where, of course, Bubsky has been holding the entire time. And if they execute inwards, it's not only Astro in spawn, but still the two players on cross in sight. But, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. There's only 15 seconds left in the tees. They've got this wrap inbound. It is Frey to stop the first, but Frey needs to stop them all, and he can't, so the retake's on.
How did Stifmeister not defend that? Triple B setup. Astro even heard the wrap coming from the spawn, but they're not going to be able to put up the kills. Now it's a retake. Well, the first will come through, considering one more player is low. This is doable. But a boost up, that'll throw a new angle to work with this crate. He's going to work his way up towards the top. Refresh finds one, and Doc just cleans up. Fragsters keep themselves in this game for one more round. 13 on the board. And Stifmeister, they've got no money. They've got to give up the 14th. They've got to go for the win 16-14 here. They've got to grit their teeth in this round. Give it to Fragsters. Never a fun situation to be in. CZ on Cray. USPs on everyone else. And Fragsters looking to take 14.
run through the Molotov. Do it. He's going to get close. Astro wants to peek and pry, ponder, possibly push. For now, he'll hide. Does come up, tapping away, and, well, Bubsky deletes him. So now desperation sinks in towards the players on the apartments, and they too will walk into an AK-47, but Link walks away with it.
Big save, though. If he can hold on to that weapon for the next round, they're going to have another bit of money to work with, to put towards utility, to put towards a drop. If we look at their cash right now, they've got nothing to fall back on. Considering they get 1,900 after this round, the most they're going to have is 4K pretty much. That's not enough to go for a full buy with nades and kits and armor with M4s. So Stifmeister will be forcing things up. Luckily enough, this AK should change things. And if Darcy's can find one more as well, that's perfect. But Fragsters, they don't need to chase this. And not only that, but also they don't have the money themselves to chase. If we look at this T-side economy, the max they've got is 2,500. So they need to keep everyone alive so they can buy up for the final round of the half.
You were a gambling man, Mr. Byron.
Sometimes.
Win or OT?
Not with this money. I mean, yeah, no, not with this money. It depends what they buy up at the end of the day, but I think they're going to opt for like SMG, utility here, get it 2-3 rifles in play. I just don't think they're going to have enough to hold this one off. Link has a little bit more to work with, considering he has the saved AK, but everyone else struggling, at least on Frey and Cray. And yeah, I mean, Fragsters have looked so good on the T side. Just statistically, they've won almost every single round. So I'm going to go for OT in this one. I'd like to see Stifmeister take it, obviously, a bit of national pride, but Fragsters have been looking so strong on the T side.
Ooh, careful, Dances. He just walks into a very commonly held angle at the minute 30 mark. So he's asking for trouble on that peak. And trouble is what he found. Dragonfly. Still patient, now posted on the opposite side, and that's going to give the ability for his teammate to just rotate back through Banana, clear the corners, and do the standard bits of clearing that they have done throughout every round on this T side. Remember, they've been given apartments control, they've been given Banana, and finally Cray looks to get aggressive here towards Apps. However, he's lost his teammate as well. And Dragonfly's just going to wait outside of this door. Bomb's not making a move, and he hears the footsteps, so he could actually catch the back of Dragonfly, or these T's go past him. He has the potential for a multi-frag. He does get only one, though. And that's going to be the problem. Unless Astro can just charge forward and stop multiple bodies on the bomb site. They're clearing the corners. He hears the push, but he can't do anything about it. And now Frey to clutch, or OT's here. And Hugo, I've got a feeling.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet here. He's in a 1v4. No chance to go for this with the smoke down. He's got to give it his best shot, obviously, but I'm not sure if that will be enough. He's being wrapped by Dragonfly, coming up through long. Frey, smoke up on the site, gives away his position. They'll just nade him, spraying in through the smoke, trying to keep him contained. And Dragonfly sneaks all the way around and finds that 3K. Two players walking into his crosshair that round, and we're going to OT.
That's awesome, guys. Our first overtime of this week, I believe, at least for the EU.
Correct.
CS. So these players are going to ready up shortly. But in the meantime, we're going to throw in some music. Don't go anywhere.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe
Alrighty, folks. Map 3 of this evening, and it's overtime. Team Fragsters managed to pull that one back after a deflating first half, but the T side's been the key to success this evening, and it is still going to be Stifmeister on the defense here in overtime. Immediately opting into the double op setup, and immediately burned off of that banana corner.
I'm a fan of the double up. They didn't quite have the money to do it in regulation, so maybe putting it in now would be something that could work out. However, it was a lot of retake situations they got themselves into, so they do have to be careful with running these scopes. And Stack's gone wrong as Frags has constantly walked into bomb sites with not enough members. Slow start for Fragsters, at least on this T side, just holding the early default, trying to see if Stifmeister try and pull anything crazy into the CT side, but we're yet to see too much aggression. To be honest, we yet to see any banana control taken by Stifmeister. They've not shown us one round where they've taken banana.
Nope.
So it's just going to be a mid play for Frags as they give up B and they send 4 players in. Dancy's forced back with the AWP to library, if he can get in there. And Fragsters, with the bomb still inside of banana, makes me reconsider this push. Maybe it's the wrap once again.
Yeah, this has been a play that they've seemingly enjoyed throughout the entire regulation. Then again, it seems as though Stifmeister have been playing heavy truck lane, so that does leave Arch open, mostly. Except for this round, Dancy's shuts it down first and foremost with that opening pick. The rest of the T's trying to get in still. One through Arch, clearing out the Opper, but still just one man left now. It is shut down in the back of the B site. Frey all alone, spotted, and done for. First round in OT will include the plant at the very least, but it's going to be Lincoln Cray on the retake.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is doable, to be honest. They do have 16k money, so save isn't going to make too much of a difference. This is one you surely try to go for, unless we're running MR5.
So this is where teams just don't seem like entirely aware of the I don't know if they're not aware of the rule changes.
I've not seen any OTs this season.
It's MR316K in Mountain Dew League to mirror that of the ESL Pro League, which means you don't save. There's no reason to save in MR316K. Yeah. You will always be able to afford, and they have M4s as well here, so it makes no sense for them not to try this retake.
Yeah,
that's something they need to become aware of. Obviously, newcomers to the division, but you need to know.
Big mistake there. 16 rounds to 15 now. First on the board for Fragsters, so they're off to a good start, as we would expect, of course, after a comeback with an 11-4 half on their T side. That being said, obviously we can't take it away from Stifmeister. They had a great T side, so assuming they can get one round on the CT side, I think this game is still, doable for them. I think if it goes 3-0 for Fragsters, it'd be a hard ask.
Yeah, I feel like it's been so long since Stifmeister have felt successful in this game that just in terms of mentality, I'm not saying they're weak, but it's just so much more difficult to swap back to the T side after 18 rounds and find the same success that you had in the first 15. But alas, it is Fragsters with an opening pick here towards A. The bomb's not close enough to commit off of this, but Bubsky continues the pressure at B, looking to hold them back.
And again, the same setup here from Stifmeister. Up on top of the boxes is going to be Frey. Astro playing close. This time he's got a little more information and not playing as passive, giving Fragsters all the room to work with. And that's fine. If you're going to have info, that's better than just giving up the angle completely and hoping that you don't get snuck onto by 5 players. But this is so dependent on you hitting your shots because rotates are so far away for Stifmeister, and 2 players here is not enough to defend against 5 pushing. Luckily, there are only 3, but what does that mean for Stifmeister? Can they hit the shots? 40 seconds left. Smoke down just to delay the push once again. We'll give a little more time the way of the CT side. And Lincoln middle as well. He may be able to catch one. There's going to be Doctors jumping inside of the boiler. Just getting away with his life as well. Already rotations coming in though. Frax is hitting this B-bomb site.
Can't get through the smoke though. That's the problem. Molotov takes its place. And the CTs, They lock this down. 3 quick kills. And that is still going to leave us into the 3 versus 2, however. Moke blinding Dancy's, shut down on the push. It's Dragonfly trying to get them back into this round, but time's the issue, time's the problem, and now they need the kills. It's no plant, no good. Stifmeister rob it away.
Yeah, big round as well from Astros. Shuts it down with a 3K on the B site. So important. And I'm surprised they got away with that, but the good enough rotation, early to get back into the site allowed them to win that round. And now we have the pause. Not sure who from, but I can assume a tactical at this point. It's the last round of this first half of OT. Of course, whoever takes this is going to have the lead going into the second half. And to be honest, with the way that Stifmeister played on the T side, while that was a while ago, as you said, they get 17 and then switch over to T side. It's totally doable to get 2 rounds and therefore win the game.
Good time to take a pause, finally. I feel like a lot of Mountain Dew League teams never actually make use of it. And obviously, when you have them in overtime, there's really no excuse not to call these. So just recenter, refocus, deep breath, win out. That's the game plan here. Obviously, overtime not necessarily too common with teams like this. So they should make the most of the opportunity. If not finding a win, taking away from the experience, Hugo. That's what we're all here for, right?
Sure. Some teams. But, I mean, this is a match on paper. Even with a stand-in, Fragsters should be winning this, right? In theory. It's just a shame they can't play with Starvin in this season of ESEA, obviously, due to the age restrictions, hence why we have Doctors. So, it definitely holds them back to some extent, but still expecting a good season from this team. The 4-man core topped last season in terms of the regular season. First place, first seed to the playoffs, but they weren't able to have the same success there and make it to LAN or Pro League for that matter.
Shame, really.
I imagine at this point it's not a tactical pause.
Yeah, I feel like everything that could have been said has been said. There we go.
Apart from that freeze time has been cancelled and we're going back in.
You see, Hugo, we got impatient and we shouldn't have. It was just going to be a moment longer.
Speak for yourself, Glenn. Well, in we go. AWP on Dancy's not running that double up that didn't have too much success in the first round, but they don't have the money for it. Actually, they do. Sorry. Excuse me. Lincoln Cray have plenty of cash, and Frey as well, actually.
Yeah, because they saved.
Yeah, of course. Well, they didn't even use the money as well. Come on. Top of banana control taken though for Fragsters. What are Stifmeister going to show on B? They haven't. I feel like not only have we not seen any B aggression at all, they've not really shown any different, variant setups on this B site. Now they're running double CT. I don't get this at all. If one smoke comes down and they've got smokes on overtime, then this entire play is just a retake, and they're already a man down. Like, what is the point of the setup here for Stifmeister? What's the plan?
Yeah, you certainly need, I would argue, some kind of coughing control. That way, at least if the smoke goes down here, you've got cover on the cross. But, oh, that's awkward. It's actually Astro to find Torben. His back was completely exposed. The smoke yet down and saw it coming from a mile away. So back into the 4 versus 4. But as said, it is only the retake. They can get nothing done. But they will use another smoke because they want the bomb, Hugo. They haven't got hands on it.
They haven't seen the bomb. Dancy's is still up on A. He's still in the apartment. They only just heard the bomb plant. Now Dancy's is rotating. Luckily enough, Frey pulls it back, but that could have been so scary for Stifmeister. Refresh still keeping this one in contention, though, for Fragsters with a quick kill onto Frey. Now it's a 2v3 with Dancy's only just making his way to the site. That could have been very scary. Doctor's 9 HP as well, and Refresh on the edge of trying to find this ace. He's 2 kills in. Holding the angle up onto the coffins, and his teammate as well, baiting for him. Flash is perfect. Smokes are better. More utility raining out for Stifmeister. Someone needs to jump on this bomb because the time is not good, but they have the line up through the smoke. Doctors should be able to see this, but the boost is up. Refresh gets sprayed, and Dancy's gets 2 with a pistol. Somehow they pick it up.
Yeah,
somehow.
Utility there. Utility is key for Stifmeister on the retake. Obviously, the smoke grenade forces that boost, and with the bottom of the totem pole so tagged up already, it was easy pickings for Stifmeister. So they will get themselves that 1-point buffer. And of course, 19, the magic number here in overtime. 18 secures double OT at the very least. But it has been a long, long while, Hugo Byron, since we've seen Stifmeister on this T side.
That is true. I mean, it's totally possible they take the win here, but they're going to need to at least run off the back of the momentum. The big thing I thought coming into this OT is not only, you know, Fragsters running off of the last 15 rounds that have gone heavily in their favor, but also, you know, they're still playing the favored side, at least for this matchup, which is T. But now we've got a spanner in the works with 2 out of 3 rounds being going the way of the CT side in favor of Stifmeister. But look at this. This is something we haven't seen. Auto sniper on Bubsky in the first round, just going straight in. And I like it.
All right. Here we go. Auto sniper op versus only Dancy's AWP. And right away, Bubsky starts to wall spam the top of Banana, securing, of course, the lack of cross. Stifmeister's gonna pummel some shots back through apps. Not nearly the same caliber. Not nearly as intimidating. Dragonfly firing off as the smoke plumes. He does hit the follow-up, so that's damage certainly dealt, but still unable to stop Stifmeister from getting dangerously close to this site. You can see Doctiz above now. He's going to have to peek down, and he sees multiple bodies, so not trusting his chances. He falls back downwards, looking for safety and calling for help.
So the backup plan B for Stifmeister, they still need to retake all this Bernardo control. That can be the use of having a player early on, just try and contest this Bernardo, try and get into position towards the top of car, so you can stop Fragsters from essentially having that area of the map, because Stifmeister still have that in the back of the mind that Fragsters can push up behind. We don't have it covered. We aren't watching Banana. We need to be aware. But now they go back up towards A, and Fragsters still stuck with a 3-man defense here, so they've come prepared. Luckily enough, the auto left to retake if Stifmeister take the site, but that's a whole question in and of itself. They've got to go quick. 25 seconds. Back of the AWP spotted. Link, he'll find the kill. Needs to find another one, though, because Doctiz is still in the pit, and they have to crossfire from the site. There's another frag. Bomb yet to make its way up through short. It finally will. He needs his kill. Astro gets it. Follow up from Cray. That's a big frag as well, because it opens up the bomb site and allows for Cray a second shot off as well. And now this round looks good for Stifmeister. Now this should be theirs.
Surely, unless Refresh has got something to say about it, and he does start to creep his way up through mid. The flashbang going down before he arrives, so that's not going to play a factor. And he has the kit. He's got the flash of his own. Bounces it off of the wall. Goes to clear the close corner, but he doesn't fully check it, and that's going to cost him. Stifmeister back to the board, and Hugo Byron, they are 1 away from a win. Remember, the convincing T side that started this all off is the reason we thought they would upset. They gave it back to Fragsters. They made their job so much more difficult than it had to be. And now they're on the cusp of closing out this upset.
However, Connor, they were at the same position 15-12 in the second half that they lost eventually. Or not lost, but brought to OT. However, that was on the CT side now, so you say it yourself, they are on the cusp of victory, and this is on their favoured side. One more round is all they need, and a pause for, I can only assume to be Fragsters, to work out how they want to approach this next round. It's a solo up, it's no auto sniper, it's 4 AKs, and it's an AWP on the T side. This is going to be a big one. This is going to make some people stiff, you could say. And Stifmeister certainly are. They're going to be going into it unpause cooled as we head back into the second half of the first OT, Connor. Week 3 of ESEA MDL.
Season 27.
Season 27.
Three-man B-stack from Fragsters out the gate. Grenades down lane. Flashes and fire back. Obviously, both teams wanting to have some Banana presence this round with 3 players apiece. But the bomb still works its way up into the apartments, and Fragsters have nobody there. They've got Doctiz over on the porch. And they have Torben on the arch. Bubsky in the spawn. And Dragonfly on Banana. Hugo, it's a spread defense. They've got numbers everywhere, but they've opted to shift them towards A. The majority of the defense has arrived. And the majority of Stifmeister will double back. So this is actually putting Dragonfly in a high-octane position, a playmaker spot. And boy, oh boy, he wants that up. He hits it.
No.
He predicts the peak because of the flash, and he had saw the barrel, so he knew. But does he know enough to call for that rotation? Because Refresh is somewhat nearby, but he's not already in position, and a smoke could certainly hurt Dragonfly. He's either going to have to walk through it and force the fight, or double back, tuck tail, and wrap onto coffins. Either way, it's giving a chance for Stifmeister to get closer to the site.
Well, if Dragonfly hits a second shot, this round may be over. But the flash through the smoke, he decides to go for it, and he lands it onto Astro as well. No utility really left for Stifmeister. They've got a smoke and a molly, and all their utilities already been used. They need to get this bomb down, wrap up through the coffins. Frey tries to find an angle on top of the box, but he can't take down Refresh and CT. One player coming up through Banana, everyone else in the CT spawn. Fragsters, they have a lot of players left alive, a 5-on-3 coming in for the retake, and I'm not sure how much Stifmeister will be able to hold.
Stifmeister using that one Molotov now and losing control of Banana, are just getting painted into the corners here. Fragsters coming in quick, and successfully so. 18-17. This game's not over yet. It's not over yet, Hugo.
At least they have the money. That's the good thing, right? Max money on Cray, everyone else able to afford. They can move forward with this buy. And they actually go for full rifles as well. Big move. Not picking up that AWP on Dances. Let's stick with the AKs for now. Similar story for Fragsters, at least with no double AWP or auto sniper. Again, they've got that AWP on Dragonfly, who's been doing so damn well with it. And again, a fast B play. We got 3 players here. Molotov's painting the floor. Dragonfly opens things up, and everyone's just burning here. Nades are dunking. HP is low, and Stifmeister, they have caught themselves out. That is not where you want to be. They're going to give up the position after losing 1 player, but now they're down a man, and they may be heading to a second overtime if they can't pull it back.
Smoke grenades down. Heavy defense still set to that A site. 3 players here for Fragsters, 2 of which in pit. Stifmeister could still get past these defenders, but the problem is they're tagged up already. And we've got this interesting position from Doctiz. He's not going to help. He's just going to keep his eyes to the ground.
They expected, though. Very unlikely. If Link jumps out of the apps at the right time, he could potentially take down both players. No one's posted on his position at all with the Molotov. It gives it away. They're going to have to look up now, knowing he could be coming from above. Storben with 1. Bubsky still on the site. There's the drop from Link, but he won't find a thing. 2 T's up, but Cray, he's made this one possible. 3 kills, all of them headshots. He's looking to go the distance. He's looking to find their 19th round. And this win in Mountain Dew League, there's 2 players left for the CT side on the retake. Split up. Onto the apartments and 1 up through long, but Cray, he's hunting. He's wrapping the back lane up through long, and Frey is posted on Dragonfly's position. So this could be really good. Cray's actually going to catch out Refresh here. He's not opted to go for long. Instead, he takes the kill, and so does Frey. It's Cray and Frey, the duo that wins Stifmeister the game. And that will be it. 19 rounds.